Hello and welcome. I'm Ines Labat, FY26 President of the Society of Women Engineers, and I'm here in our WE25 diverse podcast studio with Dr. Ruth Jones, one of our keynote speakers at SWE's annual conference. Dr. Jones is a physicist, motivational speaker, and the second African-American woman in Alabama to earn a Ph.D. in physics. She just opened SWE's annual conference a few minutes ago, and she was absolutely incredible. It was wonderful. We learned some key words. We said it's all about me. And one of my favorite takeaways was it's not a failure. I am just in between successes. Thank you, Dr. Jones, for everything this morning. It was absolutely inspirational and we all enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I've already heard so many things from, as I was walking out to come to the studio, just so many things from everyone who attended and really loved it. So thank you again. And thank you for sharing part of your story with us and embracing your own story. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to do a short Q&A with Dr. Jones based on the questions that the audience submitted to us live via the WE25 mobile app. And if you missed her keynote and want to watch the full talk, which I highly recommend, you can find the recording on demand on SWE's Advanced Learning Center at advancedlearning.swe.org. So let's get started, Dr. Jones. So got a couple of questions that we got from the audience. So the first question I have for you is, what common challenges do you see young professionals facing today, and how do you guide them through it all?
Well, some of the challenges that I see today are they have numerous opportunities, and sometimes money is a guiding factor for them instead of just following their passion. So sometimes they need to follow their passion no matter if it's going to pay less. But the younger professionals nowadays are chasing the money, and they need to learn how to do what they feel, what they love to do, and then the money will follow. I tell everybody, just follow your passion and the money will eventually come. So the challenges that they have now, they just have to figure out what they want to do, because there are so many opportunities, a lot more than what we had back in the day. So I think now they just have all these different companies, and it's so much that they can engage in, and they just all over the place. And the challenges that they have right now too is they don't stay in organizations long enough. They want to move around, and not really, sometimes they're chasing the money because they want upward mobility. And being a supervisor at NASA, sometimes I see the younger generation, they feel like they want a promotion. They've been there 1 year and they feel like they need to move up and they want to be, supervisor. I'm like, you don't even know the roles of a supervisor, and you don't even have your expertise yet. So you need to do the groundwork first, and then the leadership will eventually come.
I agree, and it's fascinating you should say that, because everyone's looking for upward mobility, and they want to advance themselves, and they want to work on themselves, and they want to do all these things, which is fantastic. But it's like you have to set the foundation, and once you've set the foundation, then you can, move up. But upward mobility, to a lot of people, as you put it, stating, one of the things I always talk about, from my world is that, when I first started, like some people when they want to compare salaries, it's like comparing the salaries is like, go do something that you're passionate about, because when you're passionate about it, you're going to be wanting to show up for work. You're going to use your strengths. You're going to demonstrate to your leadership how amazing you are. And when you do that, you see upward mobility, and the money will come.
Exactly.
The money will come. And so, but your passion will drive you versus, just, because I always tell people, even with volunteering for SWE, I'm always like, people say, oh, what do you need? Or what can I do for, how can I volunteer? And my first question is, what is your passion? I love that.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. So we have another question, and is, Dr. Jones, what gives you joy? And what do you do to create joy in troubled times?
That's a good question. I think for me, creating joy, I love my family. So they're pretty much my motivation in everything that I do. I have little cousins, nieces and nephews that look up to me. So they're my joy, they're my motivation. And how I create that joy is I give back. That's joy to me. When I can help someone else, either through mentoring, through scholarships, or whatever it may be, just giving back and helping someone else. Because it's not about the money, it's about just spending quality time with people. Because they remember the time over the money. I can give my niece and nephews thousands of dollars. If I come back 20 years from now, like, what did you do with that money? They don't remember. But if we do things every summer, because I'm the summer auntie, I get my niece and nephews in the summer and we take trips. So doing that, and if they get older, like, oh yeah, I remember that time we went to Disney World and this happened. So just spending that quality time, that's what brings me joy. And that during troubled times, I reflect on those moments. And then I also use prayer in troubled times. I have, like I told the audience today, get you a personal board of directors.
Yes.
In troubled times, I go to my personal board of directors and I ask for their advice. If they've gone through some similar experiences, then they can give me some advice on how to handle things, what or what not to do. And that gives me joy just to know that I have that support system. Because sometimes we as women and human, period, we try to do things by ourselves. And we shouldn't do that, because we have numerous of men and women who have been through the same things we've been through. And in order for us to get that help, we have to ask. As my dad always said, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So
it's a great quote. Yes. And it's fascinating because, one of the things we, during, for the keynote, when in our introduction, we talked about how SWE is a community and use your community, right? And so, you could use your SWE community, you could use personal board of directors, which I love that statement. Every time I hear it, I'm always like, yes, I love a good personal board of directors, because they're the ones you can always go to and they'll tell you what it is. Like they're not bashful about telling you when you're wrong, or they're not bashful about telling you, no, you're absolutely in the right, you know? And so, yeah, I love that. And then, giving you joy, I just love it. You can pass it on to other people. And I just absolutely love that. Thank you for that advice. Greatly appreciate it. So we have another question from the audience, which was, as a diverse individual, there can be times when it feels like people are trying to step over you or underestimate you. What do you tell yourself in those moments to keep pushing forward?
Wow. That has happened numerous of times throughout my career. But what I tell myself is, I do belong here. I am enough. And like I said, I have that personal board of directors that I go to get that support. And just being around positive people. And I can say, and I hope I didn't make it seem like my whole career at NASA was horrible, because I have had some supportive supervisors. It's just that first supervisor was just, he wasn't, he just gave me a hard time. But like I said in my keynote, I take all the lemons and make lemonade. So what he did was, he just made me stronger. I use all that negativity as fuel to launch into success, to become a stronger person. And I learned from him. That's the type of supervisor that I do not want to be like. So when I became a supervisor, I made sure that I was intentional about uplifting my employees, supporting them and letting them know that they can do anything that they want to do, instead of saying, well, you can't do this because you're a woman or your degree isn't worth this. I want to make sure that they felt comfortable. I want to have a loving and encouraging culture when I'm a supervisor. So I made sure that happened. So those are the things that motivates me and helps.
Yes, because even, the setbacks can be a learning, and it pivots you. One of the things you learn so much about yourself and what you want to do or what you don't want to do, either from seeing in other people or when it happens to you, because you're like, well, I don't want to be like that, and so in that case, it was still valuable time, even though hopefully you still found it as valuable time, yes. Even though it, was a very hard situation.
Oh yeah, I look at, like I told the audience today, I look at every opportunity and every experience that I've ever had, good or bad, it's a story.
Yes.
Each experience has a story. Yes. And those stories are going to help someone else.
I agree. It's like, it's just interesting because as I said on stage myself when we were talking about the stories and the setbacks, is like, I wouldn't be SWE president today if I didn't have the setbacks in my life. Exactly. They helped me, define the path. And again, yes, did not have a wonderful supervisor in the beginning, but it helps you to find your path as a supervisor.
Exactly. And then along the way, I had some very supportive supervisors, which made it even easier.
Because you're like, I know what I don't want to be, and I see what really good looks like.
Yes.
So I am on the right path, I can continue to hone myself. So
exactly.
That's wonderful. So for our fourth and final question that we're going to have just time for today, we got a lot of questions and we had to narrow them down. So for our question, I would love to hear your advice on what early professionals can do in order to find the right professional path. It could be technical, people management, project management, etc. How do you find your passion?
How do you find your passion? I would say you just have to find out, what do you love to do? Once you know what you love to do, then that's just follow your passion.
Yes.
Me, I love numbers. That's why initially I said in my talk, I was an accounting major, but I did that because it was easier. But I really like solving problems. So that's when I got into physics and I became a mishap investigation specialist. So once you find out what you really love to do, that's what's really you're gonna find your passion. You're gonna know that's it. Your eyes light up, you have joy, you want to come to work every day.
And that 10-hour work day does not feel like 10 hours or, late night. No. You're so passionate about the project. You want to get it done. It's like, yes, I have to put in some time, but I am going to put it in because it just doesn't feel like work.
Exactly. I agree.
Well, thank you for all your insights. And again, you had wonderful inspirational talk. Your keynote was fantastic. And we all came away with a lot of insights. And I love, even your shirt has it. It's all about me. I love it.
Thank you.
Before we go, do you have any closing thoughts for our sweet community?
I would just say, embrace your story. Walk in boldly into your next experiences. Each experience has a story, so embrace your story.
Once again, if you missed Dr. Jones' opening keynote or you want to rewatch her presentation, you can find it on demand in SWE's Advanced Learning Center at advancedlearning.swe.org. I'm Inas Darrat, live from WE25, and I'll see you for our next keynote Q&A with Melanie Lang, CEO and co-founder of Forum Alloy.